Okay, so I've got a round 2 game here on Death Aura. It is Jonesy versus ICRedd. Yeah, so Jonesy up in the top left here playing as the green Zerg, and as the red Protoss in the bottom right, it's ICRedd. Loads of love happening here. So, yeah, ICRedd with the old school Brood War skins. Coming down to drop a pylon at the front, and I don't mind this at all. I mean, we've not seen much cheese from Jonesy, so I don't mind this opening. Oftentimes against Zerg, you know, the pylon up here just in case of the 12 pull, but ICRedd, to his credit, is doing the right thing, and having dropped that forward pylon is mitigating that risk by sending the scout straight away. So when the scout gets across the map, it's going to be able to have a good look. Timing wise, what you do with that scout, you send it straight into the natural, and you're looking for the drop. You're looking for a worker to come down and drop this hatchery. If you get the timing right, you can come in and you can actually block the hatchery. So the fact that there's no hatch there, see, if you see this worker, you turn around straight away because you know that worker's been sent down to plant the hatch. So if you can, you get down and just get in the way, and generally just be annoying so that your Zerg player can't drop that hatchery, and try and delay their expand as much as you can. But he's spitting them in, he sees that it's a hatchery opening, so he can feel good about this kind of wall off down on the low ground, which obviously it's a bigger space, takes slightly longer to get any sort of wall than if it's up here. You know, if you've dropped the pylon up here and you see that it is something like a 12 pull, it's really easy to just drop a pylon on the other side of the gateway to complete your wall off if necessary, or have a worker out on the map, and if you've got time you can chrono out the zealot to plug the gap. But everything looking very normal here indeed. The second gas is coming down for ICRedd, which is fine. This is fully saturated, this is saturated, so reasonable time to drop the second gas. Not in a great hurry, for the Expo has put a zealot out, in fact, before worrying about the expand. Jonesy, meanwhile, this hatchery just about to finish up. Wouldn't mind seeing a third come down for Jonesy before too long. But we'll see what he's got in mind. Is manning some gas, so when the pull finishes up, he will, maybe not quite, but certainly will very nearly have enough gas to start speed straight away. In fact, he is going to have enough gas to start speed straight away. But with these spare minerals, you know, I'd like to see a third hatchery come down, to be honest. You've got enough money here to be building queens, to drop the hatchery, and to be continuing with worker production as well. Yeah, so interestingly, did he get, no, ICRedd hasn't started warp kit, which is a bit weird. You know, because as soon as the sidecore finishes, you just start warp kit. It's what you do. Gives you that ability to warp in units anywhere where there's a pylon, and you know, technically, if you're on it with the macro, you can warp in units faster. The pylon, sorry, the warp kit cooldown doesn't take as long as building the units in a gateway takes. But anyway, you know, not the end of the world, but it's a bit weird. Also, I noticed the gateway is idle, so perhaps ICRedd up to something. Temporarily supply blocked, and there's a single void ray in production. And that, you know, in the current meta, that's very much what the Koreans are doing these days. You get one void ray out and you use it to come out and kill the Zerg overlords that are on the map. Although there's actually only one overlord on the map. Normally, you know, Zergs have got overlords scattered about the map, and you would use that to come out and kill them. Isn't going to be doing that. Well, or at least isn't going to have much success with that, because there's only the one overlord, but it does mean this overlord is not going to be able to come in and scout the Protoss base. Decides, I think he changed his mind there with the Lings and is sending them back home, sees the void ray. The overlord's been able to see all this, so knows he's not going to get much done. You know, your instant response to this is to build more queens. He is lining up those queens, but is temporarily supply blocked, which is a shame. He's also dropping spore crawlers, and that's going to be handy enough. You know, a queen and a spore is enough to see off a void ray. You can always pull the queen from here to come over and help this one, and you shouldn't have too many problems. I'd like to see the Lings just busy scouting the map. You know, it never does any harm to have a Ling parked on this location, for example, and a Ling parked here, so that you know when the worker comes down to build the nexus. Even if you've got it on hold command, it just means if your opponent hasn't actually sent any units down, if they've just sent a worker on its own to build a nexus, it will fail to do so. Another cute trick you can do is, if you have burrow research, you can burrow a Ling here so that the nexus can't be built, which just means your opponent literally has to get detection out to come and sort that out. So yeah, Phoenix in production. There's only roaches here now. Ravagers can be good against Phoenix because obviously when a Phoenix is lifting, it cannot move when it's lifted a unit. So corrosive balls coming down from Ravagers can actually kill the Phoenix if the Protoss player isn't on point. So the Void Ray is going to come in. It's going to start shooting at this, and Jonesy needs to respond. He's got queens in the vicinity, so he can start putting some hurt in this. If the Void Ray is not careful, it could get actually shot down here. There's more queens coming into the fray. If they move across on creep here, he should be able to catch this. Oh, the queens are blocking each other. That's a real shame. So the Void Ray actually does manage to escape. Had it been a pull on the queens just into this position to trap the Void Ray, and he might have been able to get that. So 5 Phoenix can be very, very irritating indeed. I find 5 is about the right number. 5, 6. Did they see the roaches moving across there? Not sure if he did. If not, these roaches could definitely be annoying if they get to the other side of the map. Oh, Lings are in. Don't. So the force fields are going to block them out. It looked like those Lings could have got through, and if Jonesy had been looking at that, these Lings could have been in the mineral line, causing all sorts of problems for ICRedd, but reasonable force fields at the last moment to save that. I sort of feel like Jonesy is not producing the way that he should. There's 5 Hydras in production, but look at all this money. There isn't a third base, and that is the big problem here. He just doesn't have enough hatcheries to support the production. He's going to focus on the pylon, and that's great. But there's no Lings to follow it up. Yeah, had there been Lings with this, just shoot the. What is happening here? Shoot the sentry. These Void Rays will kill the roaches very, very quickly indeed. There are more than enough of them to do that. So, had there been Lings, the Lings could have run in and just gone ham on these workers. You can't, Void Rays against Lings is miserable, and Phoenix against Lings is even worse. Because the Lings just win by numbers. Yeah, the Void Rays kill them, and they kill them reasonably quickly. But when there's 60 of them, you kill all the workers long before the Void Rays kill all the Lings. But where's the Expo, Jonesy? Where is it? We're not saturated in the natural yet. I think he's nervous. I think he's playing defensively, and he not even doing that particularly well because he's across the map. If your opponent's got these Phoenix, there's Void Rays, and you know that you've got Hydras. Well, just stay home with your Hydras and expand like an absolute boss. Put the pressure on the Protoss to come and get stuff done. So this many Hydras is a scary thing for these Phoenix. They'll kill them pretty sharpish. Needs to move his overlords into a more central position so that the Phoenix can't sort of snipe them around the sides, and needs to move the queens about. It needs to be busy with these queens. Maybe split the Hydras, leave sort of 3-4 Hydras in each mineral line. Because 3 Hydras focusing a Phoenix will actually kill it pretty quickly. Maybe 2 bursts, I think. So if he's got those, rather than parked here out the front, if he's got them in position, he doesn't need to worry about these Phoenix. He can just expand like a boss. If he's not careful, the Golden Armada will just overwhelm. ICRedd has got the faster third. This third's still not finished, and here we are at 9 minutes when the Zerg should be thinking about a 5th. The 4th should be up in mining. So this is not enough. This that's moving across the map, it just isn't enough. What we got here was that 13 or so Hydras. I just don't think that's enough. With the shield batteries here, and there are plenty of shield batteries, the Voids will stand strong above the shield batteries, and I don't think these Hydras are going to get anything done. If he knew about this, he could maybe get the cancel on that. So the first thing he needs to do here is focus on this pylon. Once the pylon goes, but he's not, the pylon, he has tanked some of the first shots. Oh no, God, I can't watch that. That's miserable. No, that was horrible. Take out this pylon and these 2 shield batteries are instantly out of action. But I don't know, there's slow hydras wandering across the map. There's a golden armada making its way. Look at the army supply, 71 to 18. And I don't know, Jonesy, ICRedd hasn't really put any hurt on you. He flew in, sure, he maybe killed an overlord and about 3 drones. Is that what we've lost here? Oh, okay, 10. No, fair enough. I don't know when that happened. I didn't. Maybe the Void Ray got some drone kills as well or something like that. But that shouldn't be mattering. At 10 minutes, a Zerg should have 80 or 90 drones. So losing those 10 shouldn't be that damaging. But for some reason, Jonesy only on 27 workers. I sort of feel he's done this to himself. It's been a mixed bag of stuff. He knew there was air coming and sent the roaches in, not to great effect. They dithered. The Hydras went across the map before they had the speed upgrade, before there was significant enough numbers, and there's just nothing that can fight this now. It is going to be GG. It's 90 army supply to 24, and most of that 24 I think is in fact in production. So yeah, I think we're going to see the GG shortly here. The natural's going to go down, but so what does Jonesy do in the next game to prevent ICRedd doing this same thing again? What he does is he expands, because it takes a long time to get up an army of carriers. It takes a long time to get up enough Void Rays for them to actually be any good. He expands. 11 minutes, 5 bases. So get that 3rd up sooner, get the 4th up sooner, get everything up sooner, get the lings in your opponent's face early, keep them pinned back so that you're not even thinking about what they're doing on the other side of the map, because all you know is that they are staying home. Send in the odd thing to scout, make sure you know what they're building, make sure you have got the production in position, ready to hold down the appropriate button to crush whatever it is they're building. That's how you operate as Zerg. But the really important thing is expand. You need to have more bases than your opponent. GG.